Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the show. Tonight I'm going to go over what I think is probably a pretty overlooked build in general. I know it's been covered by some people, but I don't think they've gone quite this budget. Uh, we're going with a Fist of Heavens Paladin as a Chaos Sanctuary and Bale Runner for solo players. Uh, this is a pretty solid setup so far. So for gear, the twist tonight is we're not using any charms at all. We have a spirit. This could be in a crystal sword. Mine's in a phase blade, which would actually free up a lot of dexterity that you could just put into your vitality, so you'd have even more life. So just a spirit in a sword and a spirit in a paladin targe that gives a bunch of resistances. Basically, doesn't matter what the faster cast ends up being on it, because just because of the items used, you way blow out over what you need for Fist of Heavens. So spirit, a Shaco, they're pretty easy to get, honestly. You can find them from Mephisto. Like, this one's using Amara's. You can replace that with anything that gives +2 to combat skills and have pretty much the same efficiency. So that's interchangeable with much lower gear. This one's upgraded, but Skin of the Viper Magi, you can use just a regular one on that also. It'll have, I don't know, somewhere in the 300 defense range. I don't remember off the top of my head. Mage Fist, easy. Faster cast, you can if you're not using Holy Bolt, you can easily replace those with something else. But where I use Holy Bolt, it works. Couple of Stones of Jordan, because that's just what you want. Otherwise, put something on that gives you a bunch of mana, because you're gonna need it. An Arachnid's Mesh. There's really no other belt that can go in the slot as effectively. If you don't have it, just put in whatever your best belt is. And Silk Weaves for extra mana and some run walk. They're good caster boots. And like I said, no charms, nothing on the W swap, no trickery. We are on single player because I don't actually have a paladin on BattleNet. So, that being said, this is players 1 difficulty. You can just clear this stuff out real easy. These ones take a little bit longer, and that's really loud, so I'm just gonna back out over here for 1 second. That there. Now we'll go back. We'll cast Holy Shield because I have it. Hey, that was something I forgot to do, was go over the skills. Alright, so I've actually left some off because this is a level 99 single player character that I just used for building out, testing, that sort of thing. So this is the equivalent of a level 89. Alright, so we'll start with Fist of Heavens. That's what the damage ends up doing with this build. It's pretty solid. So you're going to max that out. Obviously, you put the one into the other ones that you need to get to it. You're going to max out Holy Bolt because that's energizes with Fist of Heavens. I personally run one into Holy Shield. Just, it helps. It's a little bit of survivability. Come over here. I personally max out Conviction because, frankly, you never know what your gonna land at. Like, this doesn't use a call to arms, so you don't get that +1. It's not using a +2 armor. It's not using a torch or an annihilus, so I maxed it out just to be on the safe side. If you're running less plus to skills, then that'll be probably more important for you also. You max out Holy Shock because that synergizes with Fist of Heavens. And you put the ones in that you need to get to those. Then, I personally like having into these Meditation and Redemption because mana is a problem with this build no matter what you do, pretty much. So these kind of help to mitigate that. Plus, this one gives you a lot of life as well. So if you need to heal, you just swap over to that, and everything that you've killed pops up and gives you a bunch of life and mana. Meditation works really well if you're using charge to traverse large spaces, because you basically don't run out of mana and you run at incredible speed. And just the ones that you put into that. That one was a misclick. I didn't mean to put 2 into it. And then, like I said, you've got, your what would be 11 remaining points that you can basically decide what you want to put into. You can do Redemption, that'll make it better. You can do Meditation, that'll make it better. You could put into Prayer, so that way when you're using Meditation, it gives you a higher recovery rate. All these little things that you could do. You got extra points to play around with. You could put it into Holy Shield if you wanted a higher block. But if you're putting low decks, you're basically going to have a non-existent block rate, so you might want to not even put into Holy Shield, because it's just going to be points wasted. It's not really going to help that much. Alright, so, as we were saying, come out here, and you just Fist of Heavens them. Or Holy Bolt, for the ones that are demons and undead. Nice thing about single player is the map's already revealed. Like I said, then you just kind of do that, and you gain your life back, and your mana back. Bugs take a little longer to kill because they're not a demon or undead, but Holy Bolt was what really surprised me about this. Like, I wasn't expecting it to be as good as it actually is. Because Holy Bolt does almost 5,000 damage in just magic. And not a lot is magic resistant. But unfortunately, like I said, it doesn't work on non-undead or demon. So you're stuck plugging away at them with but it does work. And this will be a lot quicker with better gear too. Now, if I'm yelling a little bit, I apologize. My left ear is blocked up. I mean, it really is impressive for such a low gear build, the way this thing just tears into everything. Like a better bone spear, but not quite as versatile. Oh, leave it. No charms. So, pretty easy. Five socket on ethereal. And you swap over to that. Throw on meditation. Oh yeah, you can just tank him too. However you want to play it, I guess. Because, yeah, you got some pretty good resistances. Fire isn't that great, but... eh. Not terrible, but don't need it. So. Now. Unfortunately... I gotta do it this way, but... I'm going to get back to Act 5 because I already have the town portal waiting for me from earlier when I was setting everything up. So I just gotta get to the waypoint this way. And this is a lot less of a run than it would have otherwise been. Because I'm already in the throne room. ready to show you how this plays out here. So you could use Fist of Heavens on them, or you can use Holy Bolt, because pretty much everything that comes out of here is either undead or a demon. Where are you, sniveling weasel? And those are all dead. Quite easily. Dead. Easy enough. And to everyone that's going to say something, yes, I know. This does not increase the damage of Holy Bolt. I just don't have anything else that's immediately more beneficial to have on swap in that moment. So I'll put meditation. See if that's any faster. Nope. But it's nice to know that as long as you got potions, you got time to mess around and find out. Not that he ever drops anything worth it, but at least you know you can do it with super cheap gear. 2 spirits, a Viper Magi, a Shaco, any +2, preferably Stone of Jordans, and an Arachnid. And then Mage Fist, Silk Weave. You can do it with a lot less, but this is some pretty easy gear to get to make it pretty easy. There's no charms. That was 0 charms that entire time. So I think this is pretty solid for anybody, really. Seasoned players, because it's enjoyable. It's not super overpowered, but it's reasonable. It clears things nicely. It's pretty safe. And even new players can acquire the gear to do it. It's probably not going to be your first character, but you could, in theory, do it as your first. It's going to be a little slower, but it's still going to be really good. So, everybody who stuck around, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.